How's it been? You
Hello,
right?
how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, as good as can be. I'm keeping busy, so good. What about
Just,
yourself?
I'm all right. Can't really work or anything now. Can't go to the gym. So, I think my missus created the coronavirus, so I'd actually finished this renovation of a house that was to do it. I think she actually did. So, I don't go to the gym. I don't go and work at other people's houses. I work at my own house.
Well, your house better be finished by the end of this, or you're in trouble.
Oh, definitely.
So, what kind of setup have you got in the house? Like, have you got a bag? Can you do any sort of training?
I've been doing like strength and conditioning workouts online, like Zoom calls and stuff like that with the
Yeah.
guy I do strength and conditioning with. So I'm doing stuff like that, like daily, and then doing runs and sprints in between. But I've got no bags or any kind of. You can just shadow box, but that's about it. That's as good as it gets.
You want to be able to punch something, though, don't you?
I know. Tell me about it. I'm going to start some underground fight club or fight gym, and we'll take it from there.
I'm down with that. Let me tell you.
It's not
So,
it's not the same like doing weights, and I like strength conditioning stuff, but it's not the same as hitting pads and sparring and stuff. It's starting to get to me a wee bit.
yeah, absolutely. So obviously, this is like a year that, like for most fighters that are active, like this would have been probably a really big year for you.
Mhm.
So how does that kind of work, sort of like mentally with yourself? You know, obviously the biggest thing of to date with you was like one championship. You know what I mean? For the sort of Muay Thai community, seeing you sign with them, seeing you fight for one was kind of like yes. Like we kind of all love seeing the UK and Irish guys getting an opportunity or
Mhm.
possibly getting an opportunity to go fight on one. So how's it been for you?
It's kind of hard because I had my first fight at the very kind of start of the year. That was like the end of January, my first fight for one. So I was planning to fight another 4 or 5 times, hoping that year
Mm.
and stay active and stay busy. Because the last few years I've not really been too active. Just been busy with work and things outside, like Muay Thai and life. It's kind of
Mm.
took its toll a bit. So it was hard. It's hard, obviously. I've had that fight and I was wanting to build on it from there because that was a first. It was a first hard fight against Rodlek. I get beat points, get caught like 20 seconds to go and stuff like that. But it was an entertaining fight. But it was just trying to build on it from there, just get better and work on weaknesses and stuff that I took from that fight. So it is hard. Like the only thing I can do now is just stay busy, stay active, and just to keep up my strength conditioning and stuff, and do things that can benefit me for when this all kind of ends. So
Mm.
just kind of stay active, stay fit, keep my weight low, stop eating Ben and Jerry's ice cream at 2 o'clock in the morning, watching Netflix. Just keep my weight low, keep kind of keep my body in nice shape and stuff like that, and work on kind of strength and conditioning stuff like that way. And then when it comes to fighting and that, I can. It'll be a couple of like, even if I have 4 weeks pad work, then I'll be in good conditioning, ready to go
Mm.
again. So you just need to take that as a kind of blow as well. Like everybody's in the same boat now. Like with all the fighters and stuff like that, nobody can really get to the gym and train their trainers and coaches and stuff like that. So you just need to, you can either just feel sorry for yourself and just sit about watching TV or just work on things that you can work on now.
Absolutely. In terms of one, would that have been your kind of goal destination? You know, like during your fight career, would that have been the promotion that you were looking at going, right, this is where I want to go. And when I get here, I know that I'm doing something right?
Yeah, that's one's the biggest kind of biggest organisation now for
Mm-hmm.
Muay Thai anyway. I would say. When I was growing up and stuff like that, and like the first few fights, it was always looking at like K1 and looking at Glory and the big shows like that. But for terms of Muay Thai, like one's taking over and the way they're dealing with their
Mm-hmm.
fighters and stuff like that, everything seems good. Even the kickboxing stuff they're doing now as well. Petrosian won all that money as well in a big
Yeah.
tournament and stuff. So um, I'm definitely happy to be at one, and it's been a kind of goal come true. It's been years and years in the making. Like there's so
Mm.
many times where you're just fighting and fighting. You think, when am I going to get my shot? And when am I going to get my chance? Because I've fought it from the very beginning, like from the very start, all the wee small shows, and you always think, and you're always thinking, is it you going to are you going to get your shot at one of these dream destinations, like as such, and the biggest. And you just want to fight the best. That's most importantly. Like you always want to test yourself against the best. I fought a lot of nice kind of good Thai opponents like Superlek and Rambo and stuff on Brian Calder's Yokow show.
Yokow, yeah.
So he's done like great things for me by getting me to fight these guys, and that was always a goal, to fight the best of the best. And then obviously fighting one championship now. I've got another 5 fights to go with him. I was hoping to get another at least 4 or 5 in this year, but I don't think fights are going to happen for a while now.
No, I don't think so. And it's so funny as well that before this, the kind of isolation, people having to kind of quarantine and stuff like that, it was the one show that Shatri put out about, like, you know, we can't go ahead, we have to shut it down. That was sort of the first big organization or first big show that wasn't going ahead. And I remember when the press release came through, and I was like, what? And I was going, this doesn't make sense. I was like, something's going on here, you know, like I was like, it's not just the coronavirus, it has to be something else. But then obviously, like, you know, we got up to date with everything and knew that it was this massive big thing. But can we talk about for a moment what you mentioned there about the, you know, you're fighting on the small shows or the small arena shows for so many years, and you have, like you said, your goal, your destination, but you keep saying to yourself, when is it going to happen? When is it going to pay off? Because that's a really common, not complaint, but a concern that I hear so much about, like, especially in Muay Thai, because obviously it's not as, we'll say, popular as MMA. It's not as popular as boxing. You know, it's a small, dedicated, committed fan base that it has, still growing, but it's still not where it needs to be. So how frustrating or how hard was that for you as you were coming up through the ranks and being like, when am I going to get my chance?
It was really frustrating because, like, you're putting all these hours in, the same guys, like seeing guys in boxing and MMA, and you see the type of purses and stuff like that they were getting. And you sort of, like, at the very start, I think my first few fights were 50 quid. And at the very start, it was good because when I was, like, at that point, you're like, so you get 50 quid to punch somebody in the face, and there's no precaution, like, there's nothing, you're not going to get charged, or there's not going to be backlash from it and stuff like that. So, like, I get 50 quid to punch somebody in the face. You're like, aye. So it was good at the start, and then you start getting only like 100 quid a fight, and then as your opponents are getting better and better, and you're fighting harder fights, and everything else, your training gets harder. You start training twice a day and stuff like that. It takes a big part of your life up, and you're sitting at family parties, you can't have bits of cake. People are, why are you not eating cake? They don't understand, unless you're a fighter, you don't understand. Like, you're sitting there, you're making all these, like, it's like making all these decisions that everybody's, what do you mean you're doing all this for? And you're only getting £200 a fight. Like, are you mad? Like, and doing all that, you're telling people how you're cutting weight and how you're in saunas and whatever else, and they're looking at you like you're crazy. So it's at the point of that, and you just think your chance is never going to come. Like, you generally don't. You feel like then slowly but surely your money starts to go up, but then you still feel it's not enough. Like,
yeah.
And you want to be on the big show. It's not all about the money, but it's just, you just want your chance at the big shot, the big shows and stuff like that. You just want it. You want to show everybody what you've worked for so many years at, and all the hours that you've put in. You want to show off your skills. That's all you can really put it down as.
Well, that's kind of the thing as well. And it's not just in fighting, it's in any sort of business that you've worked at from yourself for so long. It's when the opportunity comes along, or whether you're wondering whether it will come along, you're not taking in the moments as it is, you're taking in the years of hard work. That's what I find. You know, it's like, fuck, I've been doing this for 10 years, I've been doing this for 15 years, like, when is my time going to come? And then you have also the other side of your brain going, like, you know, what if it doesn't come? What are you going to do then, you know?
You just need to stay motivated. If any advice to MD was just like, just stay motivated. Like, your chance is never going to come if you give up. Like, just keep going. If you look at, like, Michael Bisping's career in UFC, like, he was nearly at the top, and then he had a few knockout losses, and he was down and down, and then he took a fight short notice against, like, his rival, Luke Rockhold, and then he got his UFC gold, and then defended it and stuff like that. And people would have never thought that he would have been UFC champion, and he did. And it was just because he just he kept working hard at it and kept his head down and just kept going.
Absolutely. And one of the sort of like really obvious factors, especially when we look at one, is that they don't sign. Well, one, they don't sign just anyone. You do have to be able to fight. They've built a kind of a brand where it's real fighters, and they also have sort of this kind of theme of it's the not quiet fighter, but it's all about respect. It's all about martial arts, and it's all about those that just want to get in there, fight hard, and be respectful to their opponent and stuff like that. Was that, is that sort of trait something that you kind of were, wanted to sort of put out in yourself as well over the years? You know what I mean? Like not being someone who talks a big game on social media, or that feels like they need to get attention in that way.
Can I start my career and stuff like that? Like I was quite quiet, and then I started getting a wee bit more kind of mouthy, you would say, in Facebook stuff like that. But that was more frustration than anything else. Like you want to basically put yourself out there more. The more people talking about you, it's more like you've got a bigger pass, you sell more tickets, and it was like building your kind of your base round about you. Like in a lot of my shows, like the more I talked on Facebook, the more tickets I sold. So effectively, it made more money and made sense, and it rewarded me more that way. But see if I can see we won championship, it's perfect. Like the way I juggle life, I've got my own roofing business, I'm renovating a house and stuff like that. So my life's really, really busy, and trying to train twice a day and stuff like that, and then do all the Facebook stuff and trying to stay and promote your fights and stuff like that. We won championship. That's what I like most about it, is the fact they're no you don't have to basically build up yourself or anything. All you're doing is basically get yourself ready to fight, go on a flight, go over there and fight. You don't need to build the fight up. You don't need to talk it up. You don't need to do any of that. It's a case of just turn up and fight and be your best and fight the best opponent in front of you and see who wins.
I mean, obviously as a professional fighter, and you want to be able to fight the best. You want to be able to prove, otherwise why are you doing it, right? But when you get the call to say, Rodlek is the first opponent, like what is that? Because obviously, I imagine you're a Thai fan first and foremost, and he's such a legend in the sport.
Yeah. My first fight was meant to be Nguyen, who is basically top of the game in Thailand at the moment at his weight. So I instantly knew that was going to be a really hard fight, because he's in the stadiums now, kind of killing everybody with elbows and stuff like that. I watched a lot of his fights. I'm a big fan of him as well. But I knew I was meant to fight him, and then I was meant to fight. Then my second opponent was meant to be Rodlek. So I knew that we were training for Rodlek at one point. So I actually thought Rodlek would be an easier opponent than Nguyen. So I was like, you know what, I'll build on it for that. That's pretty decent. You're not going to get easy opponents in one. If you look at every foreigner that's fought, they've all fought Thais as such. Like I think maybe Panikos has fought a few different guys, but most of the Thais are getting put with the top level UK guys, and there's no surprise there, because the UK guys can actually push them, and they want to see exciting fights. So, but the likes of Rodlek, I thought I had a decent game plan for him and stuff like that. I knew that he kind of punches and low kicks, and I was thinking I was going to hit and move and stay out his way, but he just walks you down. He takes everything. It was a good fight. It was a good fight with him.
Yeah, definitely.
I hit him with everything. I see a few shots. See when you hit somebody, you go, right, he's gonna maybe slow down a wee bit or whatever. He just kept coming. Honestly, I think I could have hit him with a baseball bat, and I think he'd have still kept coming.
Probably true as well. Is it fair to say that you almost didn't start Thai? It would have been very easy for you to have not kind of been on this journey.
Say that again?
Would it be fair to say that you almost didn't start training Thai boxing?
Yeah.
How grateful are you that you decided to?
I know, like, it's crazy. Like Thai boxing, like, wasn't big. Like MMA, like we're in Renfrew, Scotland.
Because you were relatively not old. I mean, but in terms of like, you were like 19 or 20 when you started. Is that right?
I started. I think I was 19, just turned 20, and it was just through doing an apprenticeship, roofing apprenticeship in college, and one of the boys, my other mate was in college doing engineering or something, and he ended up talking to a boy and asked him to go to Thai boxing. He's like, "You fancy coming along?" And I was like, "I don't know what Thai boxing is," but I was like, "Aye, I'll go for it." And then I kind of clicked on YouTube or something and like try to see what it was. I was like, I don't know if this is really up for it. I don't know if I done a wee bit of boxing, like punching a bag and stuff, but I didn't know what it was all about. So I turned up, first class. I think like 12-year-old Superman punched me in the nose. Man of it. And then from then I built on. And then I think about 2 months later or something, I'd like 2 months later there was a pull out. And I had my first fight, like with shin pads and a headguard on. But see, after this first class, even though I got my Superman punch and my nose was burst and stuff like that kind of made me want to do it more in a strange way. So for the end, I was just constantly training. I think it was like the classes were like 3 days a week. And I was just there 3 days a week constantly. And then 2 months later, there was a pull out. And I remember somebody lifting me. It was John O'Brien lifted me. He's like, "What do you weigh?" And I was like, "I think 65 kilos. He's like, "Do you?" I was like, "Aye." But on the scales, he's like, "You want to fight?" I was like, "All right." He's like, have a think about it, but you'll get 50 quid. I was like, "All right, brilliant, 50 quid, can I sealed it for me?" So that was it. That was me. Ever since, that's me been hooked into Thai boxing.
Can you remember a moment where you were like, this is something that I'm good at and this is something that I want to definitely pursue? Like, was it a moment or was it something that gradually happened over the years?
I think it just gradually happened over the years. The more, I think that first fight, I lost on points. I was just jabbing and crossing. I never really knew there was such thing as scoring. And I was like, he's kicking me, but it's no hurting, so I'm going to punch him in the face more. And then I think after that, I went like 10 or 11 fights with knockouts, stoppage wins, 11 fights, 11 wins. And then that was me kind of, after, I think the first loss, I think that was the best thing. I think, see, if I won my first fight, I wouldn't have took it serious. I think after my first loss, I think that was me. And then I was totally focused. And then I was getting harder opponents. And then 11 fights, that was me. And I think my first A-class fight. And then that was me. I was hooked on it. I stopped getting out with my mates and drinking and stuff as much. And that was me. I was just hooked on it. There just wasn't enough. I think there was some years I had like seven fights or something in the first year or something like that. Just any time there was like short notice fights, I would just take them. Like 3 days notice, 2 days notice, just jump on, and that was it.
Well, you know, it's something that's it's probably the most admirable in terms of fighters is Muay Thai fighters and the culture that is surrounded with Muay Thai in fighting so frequently, especially, and that obviously comes from the kind of Thai end of it, of things as well, you know, and like their culture in Thailand and how often they fight and different things, you know, and it's something that a lot of like boxers are, they're like, "What, you fight like 6 times a year or 7 times a year? You know, you jump in just like no problem." You know, it's definitely something that's admirable. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned to date in terms of your Muay Thai career?
I think through the whole training and everything else, it makes you like a better person. Like you take a lot from like small things, like see the training, you're like a kind of regiment. You wake up every day, you do your run, you go training, you do this and that, and how you prepare for a fight, then that transfers onto kind of life. Like everything that I do now, like work wise and everything, like you need to do it to the best ability. Like it's just regimented. Like if you're planning to be the best in Thai boxing, then it'll pass through into your actual normal life as well.
I mean, you know, obviously you're a professional fighter. You're fighting for one of the biggest organizations in the world. You're working as well. You have your own business, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying I run my own business. I sound like some guy that's got 50 workers for me and I sit in my office. But, I've got 2 guys that work for me, and I work as well. So I'm out in the tools as well. There's occasionally, sometimes they'll probably slag me if they hear this. They'll be saying, "No, that's it. He just pretends he's away looking at jobs. They can back me a haircut and stuff like that." That's not the case. They'll probably say that, but it's not. Actually, I'm out working, and then sometimes I need to nip back and go into jobs and that. So I'm not always working as much. But
well, my question to you is, you know, there are fighters out there that are not as far along in their career as you are, and they have the idea that they can't work full time, or they can't work and be a full fighter. That you have to kind of completely dedicate yourself to the sport and being a fighter, otherwise nothing's going to work.
I think, see, Thai boxing, there's like, I, people never told me this, but I always kind of knew myself there's not enough money in Thai boxing to live off of. And it's different. See, if guys own their own gym, they're doing their PTs and they're running their classes, then fair enough, that'll help them out, and then they'll be able to fight as well, and that'll give them a good bit of money and stuff like that as well to live on. But you can't just live and fight in the UK. Like, it can't be done. Like, people have got families to provide for. They want to go holidays. They want to have like nice cars and whatever. Thai boxing's not going to pay that. Like, you need some sort of income as well. So it is possible. I've done it myself. I've worked all the way up, like, from the start. I think a few fights I've took like a couple of weeks off before it. But now I work for myself. I always say to myself, I'll take 2 weeks off. But if somebody phones and I need to go out and see a job or whatever, like, I need to go and do it. So it's not as like, it's easy saying you can work for yourself, you can take your time off, you can't. Like, it's harder now than it used to be. When I worked for a company and stuff, I just took I'd take like a week's holiday in the lead up to the fight and stuff like that. But it's not as hard. Now you just have to just suck it up. I'll maybe get like 3 or 4 days off before the weigh-in and stuff like that. I'll try and do that. But I'll be at my work on a Monday. Like, if I fight on a Saturday, I'll be at my work on the Monday, and that's just how I've always been. It's always been that way, and it's crazy to think, like, if some young fighters like think they can just train and fight and stuff like that, they need to work as well. They need to work and train. It can be done. I've done it myself. I've got to a kind of decent level from working and training. You just need to want it that bit more, because it's going to be hard when you're tired in the morning. You need to get up at 5 and do your workout before your work, and then you need to go to your work. And the worst thing is, let's see, when it's cold and freezing, especially when you're fighting about November, December time, and you're freezing cold, you get in for your work, and you get into a warm house, you have a shower and stuff like that, and you think to yourself, I could just go to sleep, or I could just stay comfy, and it's nice and warm in here. But you need to go back to the gym, you need to do your workout, and that's what you need to do if you want to be the best.
Well, it comes down to how bad do you want it, isn't that it?
That's exactly it. Like, if it's also the fact, I always think as well myself, I'm like, see, if my pals see me get battered, they're going to keep slagging me. And they slag me no matter what. Like, that's just my mates are. And that's mostly the thing that gets you going as well. If my mates come and watch me and I get done in, they'll slag me for the rest of my life. So I'm not giving them that.
What, in your opinion, obviously, you know, because you're the fighter, so it's the scene is centered around you. But if we were to look at, we'll say, the UK, Ireland, in terms of like Muay Thai events, fans, support, in your opinion, what needs to happen for it to get onto the scale of MMA and boxing?
It needs to go in. It needs to get televised.
Yeah.
I think definitely, like, it needs to be televised. I think one's got a good idea with the app and stuff like that. It's been about that. We need to get it on like TV. No Sky Sports, just see local TVs, like see like domestic channels and stuff like that. Like, there should be something on. I personally think Thai boxing more exciting than just boxing alone. Like, boxing's a skill in itself, but there's so many more weapons in Thai boxing, with the elbows and the knees and kicks and stuff like that. There's so much more in it. And I just don't know why it just doesn't get as much publicity as the rest of it does. Because people enjoy MMA, but then they say, I like MMA, but I don't like all the ground stuff. I'm like, that's Thai boxing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like, how big MMA is now. But the one thing like, over the last few years, since the whole Conor McGregor era and stuff like that, it's made every kind of sport bigger in a way. Like, everybody loves Conor McGregor. So the likes of Thai boxing, people are getting into Thai boxing and everything, every kind of Brazilian jiu-jitsu and everything. People are doing that more. There's more clubs opening up. There's more classes involved and stuff like that. So it's making everything bigger. But I hope one day that it's going to be, Thai boxing will be just as big as boxing, and the fighters get paid just as well as boxing, and they don't need to worry about their PTs and their seminars and whatever. They can just focus on being a Thai boxer. They fight, they train, and that's their living. and I hope one day I'll see that for the fighters coming up.
Absolutely, and there's something you know, with Thai boxing, and a Thai boxing event, when you take in the crowd, the atmosphere, the music, the style of fighting, like you really have to go and experience it to get the full essence of how great the sport actually is.
No, definitely. Like a few of my friends, they come to the fights. They only come to the fights. It's weird because they come to see me, but they enjoy the shows and they see other fighters, and then before you know it, they enjoy those guys and they've seen them fight a few times, and they start watching their fights and stuff like that. So it just travels on for there. But it's more importantly, just get people through the doors, and see when they see it, they'll enjoy it.
Absolutely. I agree with you. So while we were talking, everyone has a chance to put in some questions that they want to ask you. So I'm going to have a little look in the question box now, see what everyone wants to ask. First one that comes up there is from Rudy. Can you ask Chris if he'll come back to Aberdeen Muay Thai?
Yes, I'll come back.
Karen has asked, if you had to quarantine with 5 people, dead or alive, who are you choosing? We get this every night that Karen asks the same question. It's very good. But you can't choose someone you know. Has to be, it's total fantasy.
Right. Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Who else? Sugar Ray Leonard. Let me think who else. Ricky Gervais, because
oh,
I've been watching
brilliant.
Afterlife. I'm trying to think who else here.
2 more.
I can't even think.
Music.
The Gypsy
actors.
King. The Gypsy King.
Yes. You have to get Tyson in.
It was Floyd Mayweather.
Brilliant.
It means we'd be able to just we'd have Ricky Gervais for the laugh, and then the Gypsy King would be good for a laugh as well, and then the rest of it I'll learn some good boxing.
Ricky Gervais is going to feel slightly out of his comfort zone, I think, in that house, but however.
We'll get him doing pads.
Yeah. Did you see Mike Tyson, the video that was released this week of him?
It's crazy.
This is just like such warmth when you see that. It's like, you know what I mean? It's exactly what we all hoped he would still look like at 53, right?
He's got some story. I've read his book and stuff like that, and like how he started and stuff. It's like inspirational as well. Like he never had anything growing up, and he'd know a great life growing up and stuff like that. And Custom Attle, if Custom Attle was still alive, he'd be in my 5. I've read his story and stuff like that. He's a legend as well, and how he trained fighters and stuff like that. It's brilliant. But how he transformed Mike to the as the day. It's crazy.
Did you have anyone like that? Was there a Customato for you when you were starting out?
My first coach, Stevie Houston, he was like Customato at the start and stuff like that. And my other coach, Lloyd Cochran, they were on the way up. They were the 2 guys that really had me focused. And Lloyd had it was like a book. It was like a journal. And he wrote how to be, like you have to have a goal. And obviously my first goal was to be Scottish champion. And then obviously the goal after that was to then be British, European and whatever else. And I did reach all my goals as such till the end, but he had like a set structure and how you had to train 6 days a week. That was his route. Like, if you wanted to fight, you wanted the best, you need to train 6 days a week. He says, you need to do what everybody else is not doing. And that was from, like, I think after my second fight or something like that. That was the rules.
Wow.
And that was
Love that.
From the very, very start. There was certain rules that you had to keep doing. If you wanted to be the best, you had to do the stuff that people wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, well, there you go. Let's have a look. Dan McGowan has asked, what opponents have you got your eye on post-quarantine?
I would love the Rodlet rematch, but most likely wouldn't happen. I had my shot and I kind of blew it. I get dropped in the last 20 seconds to go or something. But I'd like Nongo. My dream opponent would be Nongo. Maybe there's a pull out or whatever, but even if it's not for the belt, I'd love to fight Nongo just because he's a legend in the sport. But I'm just looking forward to get fighting in one championship game.
100%. That's a great fight though if it comes off. Callum Rock has asked, what's the one fight that changed your career?
I've only had one fight. I'd say the Kareem Benoit fight on Yoko.
Why was that so important for you?
He'd beat I was trying to get a fight with Darren O'Connor, who was UK #1 at the time. And I knew he'd beat Darren O'Connor. I was meant to fight Darren O'Connor and he pulled out from that fight. So I ended up fighting Kareem Benoit, who fought him, I think it was the same year. He fought in the March show and this was the October show. So Kareem Benoit beat him quite convincingly. So I knew that if I beat him, then everybody would know my name. And it was one of those fights that would put me in the map and put me right up there to get future big fights and put me out there in the whole UK. So I fought Kareem Benoit in my opinion, one of my best performances to date. And it was a kind of flawless performance. I've not really had many of them, but I feel like I didn't put a step out of foot out of step. I mean, whatever. But that was probably my best performance and put me right out there, like for future big fights against different opponents.
Good stuff. Right, we'll take one more here. Shifra has asked, who has been the most skilled fighter that you've shared a ring with to date?
This is an easy one. Super Lick.
Yeah.
He was frightening. I didn't expect him to start that strong. Like, I thought he was going to sit in the ropes the first 2 rounds, and that was just that was me just being naive. I think, like, if you watched all his fights in Thailand and stuff, he kind of teeps a leg and sits on the ropes and plays for the first couple of rounds. But he came out all guns blazing against me. But it wasn't even all guns blazing. It was just how fast he was. Like, his teeps, everything was just so fast, and how good he was at breaking your rhythm. So when you start landing some flurries, he was just good at just resetting you. He was just constantly resetting me, and it was like his teep was just resetting me every time. I'm just about to throw a combination, and I was throwing a couple of shots together. He just reset me, and it was like a reset button constantly. It was frightening. It's probably one of it was a hard fight, but I took a lot away from it. It was one of those fights where you learn so much as well, and how much speed kills. I'm sure he did a machete in the ring as well.
Well, listen, Chris, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the interview. It's brilliant. Thank you.
No problem at all. And I'm hoping one day that I get to attend my first one championship. So hopefully the next time that you're on,
definitely.
You never know what might happen. But listen, continued success and best of luck with everything.
Thanks very much, and I hope you take care. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks
Talk to you soon. Thanks, Chris. See you later. Bye.